Good early afternoon, everyone. 2:27 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast in the United States of America. I'm T-Speaker222 with Swing Traders Anonymous. Just wanted to go over a few things. There's a lot of confusion on YouTube and the markets right now. Everybody thinks we're in a rising wedge, which makes no sense. Most things are exactly like XRP. Well, they all are. You would have to bounce back up into the rising wedge, be in a rising wedge. We're not in a rising wedge. Bitcoin is certainly not in a rising wedge. In fact, if you were actually doing this, you could actually go from a farther out and start to say, okay, we're starting to follow a pattern here. And then we already know the resistance line. So you just pull this out and now you're in a falling channel, and we've been following it. We broke up slightly, but that's a break up into the sideways trading like we talk about with Bitcoin. And then you fall into that inside out triangle, as I call it, where you can start to trade and it becomes the oh boy moment. And then if we wanted to get into a rising channel, that would have to be used as the support. And then you'd have to start coming through where we're actually rising through the channel. And you'd have to start pulling out through here. But we have a long ways to go to get to the top side of that to start going in a rising channel. So remember, you'd have to be on the top side of that resistance line right now and start riding up it to be in a rising channel. That's how you'd get back into that channel. We're not in the channel right now. We're actually in a falling channel that we broke out of temporarily, that we're in this inside out wedge, but we're falling out of volume. So this is going to roll over and then we'll be back in the falling channel. We're having a fake up right now. There's not a terrible amount of volume to support it. XRP has no volume, the one that I showed before. But Bitcoin did have a little bit of volume earlier, but it's not anything that's going to be sustainable. So, I could go through all the coins, but right now the main focus is on Bitcoin. If we fall back through this, we're going to fall through the wedge, or come back into the wedge, and we're just going to continue to trade through the wedge. But we have a big fall, at the bottom side of this wedge until we break out of it and stay out of it. And it's going to continue downward. We've already hit it a couple times. So the most logical thing is we get rejected up here. Even if, like I said in my other station, even if we come up here at that 45,164 and get rejected, that probably won't happen going way back up there. It's probably starting to roll over, might get a little burst, and then do something like this. But once it gets back in here, it's going to start riding this and eventually drop. It probably won't even take that long, but it's going to be in this channel. But right now, the overwhelming support is at 39,321. So until it breaks that, this falling channel is going to be just that. It's going to be falling and popping up at times, but it's going to continue, and it's going to prove overall that is the overall resistance line. And every time it goes over it, it comes through it. We've already had, this is the third point in the last few days where it's gone up, and if it comes back through, that's the third consecutive time it's come right back through. So that's something to remember. So I wanted to do this update because you guys got to understand when you're making trades that right now Bitcoin's controlling the market. We've had a lot of interesting things happen. I wanted to discuss the seller network real quick. This will be the technical analysis we do. Nice fan of the show, but you can see we got this M top and reversal up here, slightly slanted, but it did come down to correct itself. So all in all, not exactly what you'd want if you were lining up a trade. The problem with this one is it's run out of fucking control. So we go into the daily, and it's pulling back. It was on a bull flag. But we do have an uptrending support line that it has to maintain when it's coming through here. And you can come way back here, I believe. No, I don't want to go way back there because if you go right there, it fell through and then it's going to be inaccurate. So we can go the short term, come back here. And now we're riding this. And the moment you break through that, that's going to signal a problem. You can also look at this. Yeah, that's the uptrending support. So you don't want to break that. But then we've also got a very decisive downtrending resistance, and it starts right here, right when we got to the top right here. We can even come down here, or we can come to right here when it pulled back up the second time. But you can ride this all the way down. So if you start talking, where's my apex moment, we're right there. So, and then if it rides through it, it's going to start trading this uptrending support. But right now, you got the downtrending resistance. But you could also bring out another line and say, okay, well, we've got downtrending resistance, and we got a tight support line that it's following down as well. So that's a falling channel, guys, when it starts looking like that. This is a falling channel. So if it breaks through that support line we talked about, this falling channel is going to get much worse. So until you break out of that falling channel, it's very dangerous. But it could also be forming a topping reversal to where this would actually pull up when it hits this apex point, the meet point. But there's a W in the pattern down here. So the likely scenario is this falling channel is just going to come, and it's going to come back down there to get support. But this is your major moment right now. Can it hold up on that uptrending support? That's all you should be worried about right now. So I'm going to release this so you can see it. But that's all that matters. Is that uptrending support going to hold, or is the falling wedge going to prove true when it gets to this cross? Because this is the apex moment at this cross where the uptrending support is meeting the downtrending channel. So this is it. This is where you'd expect a little sideways and up trading right here for a very short amount of time, or it's going to break right through. So I hope that helped, but this is the best I can put it out for you in layman's terms. Stay blessed, everybody.